Then came, the next threshold. After 15 years, we could feel it. There was a stirring, there was a restlessness, a whisper, just like before, You were meant to live for so much more. Have you lost yourself? Except for this time, the whisper said, it's time to evolve. What is next? This has been an incredible 15 years, but what is next? We were tired in a way we had never been before. And then the pandemic hit. It was like, okay, another big dragon, another huge, unpredictable setback. The pandemic forced everything to a standstill. Overnight, the wellness industry changed completely, dramatically. Studios like ours, which were built on community and gathering and shared breath and togetherness and closeness, faced a completely new reality. One that wasn't aligned with how we had always served. Around that same time, the building we had poured so much love and blood and sweat and tears into was sold to a group of aggressive developers who began, quickly reshaping the neighborhood and pushing us out almost overnight. It felt a lot like the universe was just took over and was like, well, here you go. Here's your next step. This is where you're meant to be now. It became clear that the external landscape, both in our industry and in our local community, had shifted in ways we couldn't and didn't want to fight against. The universe was guiding us. And that's the story we chose on purpose, guidance and gratitude. And in that space of truth, we realized it was time to choose again. Not how do we hold on, but what are we ready to create next? And for the first time in 15 years, we had the opportunity to dream beyond the walls we had built. Getting choked up again and reimagine everything again. Closing the studio was one of the hardest decisions we've ever made because it wasn't just a business. It was a chapter of our hearts, a chapter of our lives. It was a chapter of our family's story. And letting it go cracked us open. But it also set us free because life on purpose teaches you every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. After the grief,